morning. It is time to go over last night's runs. I think that you guys will benefit so much from this, especially when watching Mojo with some lead changes. I'm going to show you why that could cost you a lot of time and why that may have gone undetected in your runs when you're adding whips and more aggression. It could be as simple as just staying really low and quiet in between your barrels. Also, we're going to look at why Hush Money and I didn't win the rodeo, but why I'm still so insanely proud. So check out these tips right now, and I can't wait to see what you guys think. Okay, let's take a look at last night in full speed. We're going to watch both me and Cody, and then I will start picking us apart. I obviously hit my second barrel in the backside, but I could not have been more proud of this run and super, super excited. For instance, last hole before this perf was a 1575, which was actually Haley Kinsel. I thought she was a different time, but I was a 1584. And Cassie Mowry ran CP, He Will Be Epic in the perf and ran like a 1575, 77, something like that. So super proud. Cody made one hell of a run, and she's starting to ride like a professional barrel racer. I want to break that down and show you what I mean by that. So let's go back here. Let me show you why I didn't win this rodeo. Minus that hit barrel, let's really look at it. So this setup is a really open concept. So behind what you don't see of this alley is a big indoor warm-up pin. I know a few of you guys live near Rapid City, and you know how that setup is. It's very similar to that. So the alley runs right back into this big covered warm-up pin. So let's slow it down. I really asked for a lot, and here is where you see that she and I aren't 100% together. Now, we're not supposed to be together at this point, so I have allowed myself plenty of grace, but when I bump her here and ask her to really kind of come back on top of this barrel, the first move that she gives me is bend and bend away. And that's when I kind of would have benefited from being two-handed a little bit longer and pointing her toward this barrel, because she could turn right beside this barrel. She doesn't need to be up here. So next time at San Angelo, my next rodeo, I'm going to aim her for this barrel, still leaving myself a really pretty arc though. But I'm going to, instead of coming here, which is very slow for a pro rodeo, and she's going to come back very close, instead of there, I'm going to arc here and have even circle all the way around. So let's see this play out. You see me like, oh my goodness, and then she's not able to like push off as quickly. You kind of want them to push off back in here. You see her pushing off here, which is going to make us accelerate a little later. So I'm very aggressive with asking her to run across the pin. Here, I want you to watch my inside leg. When I get here, I bumped my inside leg to have her keep moving. Bump, bump. Guess what? If I would have bumped one more time and not been leaning to the outside, instead being very aggressive about leaning a little bit over my horse or even into the turn, which I know everyone tells you is a no-no, but if I had not been shoulders out right here, I could have been proactive about the next thing. The only move I could have made right here was lifting my leg, but I look up too soon. Right here, I went ahead and looked up and actually pulled her right on top of this barrel. So what I could have done was, if I had been more aware, lift my leg, or at the last second I could have bumped her and moved her out. But if you look, what I did, instead of being really proactive and staring at this barrel, which I'm doing right here, but I didn't do anything about it, here you see that I'm just like, oh crap, I'm too late. So that's what I will look for in my very next run. Now, I kept rocking and rolling because I wanted to see where she clocks, how that's going to compete, and if I have my brakes set. Did I fix that issue? Could I run her at a little bit more of a risky rodeo? And here I've learned that if I use my body to go toward this barrel instead of using my hands, I don't have the delay of her head shake. I just use my body kind of leaning toward the barrel, which again people tell you not to do, and that way I can ask her to run out. Look what she does though. She's used to me pulling here, and so she hesitates. And I've changed my posture because I knew this was coming, so I've changed my posture. I've improved as far as pushing her out, and she's still hesitating. It's going to take 2 or 3 runs for that to go away. So I was able to drive her all the way across the timer line before I got insecure. You see me really pull on her right here, and then she just eases up to a lope, and I'm able to just break her down and have a really, really amazing time. time in the back and not be scared. I spent a little bit extra time in the back also, just uncinching and petting her, just because she feels a little tight and anxious still. So let's talk about Cody and how awesome this run is. You can see that she's learned, and this is all the profiles that make up a professional barrel racer to me. She has learned to get eyelashes. What I mean by that is when she comes in the alleyway, she can see her horse's eyelashes angled toward the barrel that she's headed to. So she goes to the right barrel first. She can see right eye eyelashes when she leaves the alleyway, and she holds that pressure all the way to the barrel and gets on her saddle horn a little bit earlier than normal at the first barrel in order to have a way more successful turn. So you don't see all the space that she normally has up here. Instead, you see her here and ready for a really great turn. So let's zoom in, because Cody actively watches these lessons too. Let's help her. Here is where Mojo is taking a step from here. He takes 1/2 step this way and then comes back this way. So what we're wanting is kind of what you saw in my second barrel. We're wanting her to look at this barrel and scrape her leg on it, basically. So here, she's going up and saying, okay, it's all right for you to go on and accelerate, but she almost needs one more step of pulling toward this barrel so that he doesn't go off on this trajectory. And you'll see where that goes. So he's swapping leads at a really, really odd angle. So you see he's on the right lead, left. And when he reaches, you see his back end get just a little squirrely. Watch this. And then he switches, and then he switches back, and then he switches back. So it's that spot where she's going to be she only has to change one thing, and that's just being more effective on the backside of the barrel. And by effective, I mean just bumping one more time. And let's see if she's capable of doing that. Is she too green of a rider to do that in full-blown competition? Let's see. Check this out. See right here? Boom, boom, and ask him for one more step. That exact posture, all she's got to do is apply this right here with this arm and an L. She's looking at this barrel out of the corner of her eye. That posture at the first barrel, boom. So she doesn't have to actually do anything different than what she's doing, which is really amazing. Now, one thing we've got to watch is going up to two hands or changing hands, and you guys may be running into this issue too, but I want you to really notice the leads. So once again, here we are on the left lead. We're left lead, switches hands, right lead. Switches hands again, left lead. So when we get through those lead changes, she's going to be 4 or a half second faster between each barrel, and that's going to create her horse to be able to run harder in a straight line, because essentially right now he's pole bending in between. I hope you got so much out of that lesson. It was so fun to run last night and to see the progress that Cody and Mojo have made, to see the trust that Hush Money and I have built so quickly. I'm ready to run her absolutely anywhere. I'm so excited. Everything feels better, and I can't believe how far she's come in this short amount of time of us trying to get together. So that will be my ride at the San Angelo Stock Show and Rodeo on Monday, and we will just wait and see who it is that I'm going to run at the X Factor race, because I'm very excited for that too. So I can't wait to see your comments below. Dissect your videos with this much, like use a scalpel, not an axe, when you go in and do surgery on your runs, because when you really want to get down to those teeny tiny details that are going to make the clock shut off even faster.